Welcome to today's class. In today's class, we're looking at chemical bonding. And in chemical bonding, we'll first of all try to understand how ion is formed. Then we'll look at ionic bonding if our term accommodates that. After ionic bonding, we'll look at covalent bonding, dative bonding, and all other types of bond. This video is going to be very short. I wouldn't want to make it very lengthy so that it will not be boring for learners that will want to learn from the clip. So let's dive in. How are ions formed? How are ions formed? Before we dissect how ions are formed, let's first of all understand what an ion is. An ion is an electrically charged atom or group of atoms formed by the loss or gain of electrons. It is a charged species, particles. It could be an atom, it could be a group of atoms. They are formed as a result of loss or gain of electrons or electron. This loss or gain of electrons take place to obtain a full outer shell of electrons. So the purpose for formation of ion is that complete shell of electron will be obtained at the valence shell of the atom involved. And when that is achieved, we would have attained the corresponding noble gas configuration, the nearest noble gas configuration. So this is how ion is formed. Ion is formed by either gain or loss of electron. Meanwhile, ion itself is electrically charged atom or group of atoms. Now, as I say that when that is done, the electronic structure of the ions of the element, either in group 1, group 2, group 6, group 7, will be the same as that of a noble gas such as helium, neon, and argon. What does that mean? Now, when an element loses an electron, if it has a positively charged atom, the shell will surely disappears, and the next inner shell will become the valence shell of the particular ions. And remember, before the electron was moved into the outer shell, the inner shell would have carved either the duplet or the octet configuration. And when that is established, it will become the electronic structure of the next noble gas to that atom. Let's go for an example here and cite a case study. Now, let's look at cation, for instance. Cation. Cation is a positive charge ion, and it is metals that form cations. Now, let's look at sodium atom. The structure of sodium atom will have 2, 8, 1, which we can, if we want to represent it in a circular form, we'll have so the inner shell have 2 electrons. I'm using the dot and cross. The inner shell has these 2 electrons. That's this shell containing this electron. The second shell have these 8 electrons. Sorry, let me put it in an open place so that we can have a clear. And we can have this. Okay, so we have the 2 electrons in the first shell. Second shell has the 8 electron, and the last shell has 1 electron. This is sodium atom, the configuration of sodium atom. Now, when sodium ionizes to form ion, what will happen is that we have Na minus electron giving us Na plus. In this case, sodium have assumed sodium ion by loss of an electron. Now, what would have happened here is that sodium would have become, sodium ion will have 2, 8. Now, if we represent it in the circular form, we have and the second shell, because now you can see the sodium atom has the first shell, second shell, and third shell. Sodium ion now has first shell, second shell, because due to the loss of this electron here, this shell has disappeared, and now we'll have this. So which noble gas is the nearest to this, to sodium? The noble gas nearest to sodium is a neon. What is the electronic structure of neon? Neon is Ne, which is 2, 8. So let's count the number electron here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you see that sodium ion has assumed the neon structure, atomic structure, because it has lost 1 electron. This is what happened in cation. Let's look at another example. Let's look at the still cation, formation of cation. We have a calcium, Ca. The atomic number of calcium is 20, which means that calcium has 20 protons, 20 electrons. Now, the mass number is also 40 point something, but let's take 40, which means that it also has 20 neutrons. Now, the electrons will be 8, 8, 2. This is the atomic structure of calcium atom. Now, we put it in the circular form. We have this 2 electrons. We have the second shell, 8 electrons. We have the third shell, so 1, 2, three 8 electrons. And we have the last shell, the fourth shell, which has 2 electrons. So let's count the shell. Shell number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one has 2 electrons. The second one has 8 electrons. The third one has 8 electrons. The fourth one has 2 electrons. This is calcium atom. Now, when calcium ionized to form ion, to become a cation, what will happen is calcium will have this minus 2 electrons to become Ca2 plus calcium ion. It becomes calcium ion. Now, for calcium ion, Ca2 plus, the configuration, the structure becomes 2, 8, 8, 2. Now, if you represent it in diagrammatically, I'll make it small so that it will enter here. We'll have this, the 2 electrons in the, which is this shell. They'll have the second one. Sorry, that's mistake. This has been gone. Sorry. So the second one, 8 electrons. Then the third one, 8 electrons. So let's count the number of electrons. First shell, 1, 2. Second shell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third shell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, total 2 plus 8, 10 plus 8, 18. Now, which noble gas is next to calcium? Calcium is element number 20. Argon is element number 18 with atomic number 18, while potassium is 19. So this calcium, having lost 2 electrons, have fallen back to noble gas, which is neon, argon. So argon, which is, the structure is 2, 8, 8. So this is how cations are formed. This is how cations are formed. I've given an example using calcium and sodium. Now let's look at anions. How are anions formed? Anions are negatively charged ions. Negatively charged ions. And anions are formed by gain of electron. And when the electron is gained, the anion attain the nearest noble gas configuration. The outer shell will complete to 8. Let's take a case study. We have oxygen. The atomic number of oxygen is 8. And we have the structure to be 2, 6. Now, if you represent it in circle, it becomes this. So, this is oxygen. Now, when oxygen want to attain oxygen ion, it will gain 2 electrons to become O2 minus. And this O2 minus, this oxygen ion, will now have 2,8 as the structure, because the 2 additional electrons would have completed the vacant space here to make it, to bring in the total number of electrons in oxygen to 10. And let's represent it in a circle. It will now become then let me use this as the electrons that it gained. Now in this anion, this is now oxygen ion, O2 minus. What is unique here? The number of protons here, just like the is still 8. Number of electrons equals to now 10. Number of neutrons is still equals to 8. So for anion to be formed, the number of electrons will be more than the number of protons. Remember that protons are positively charged species, electron negative charged species, neutrons neutral. For cation to be formed, the number of electrons will be less than the number of protons. So this is how oxygen ionized to form oxygen ion with charge 2 minus. Let's look at another example, the same anion. Formation of anions. So we have fluorine F with atomic number 9. The structure is 2, 7. It will gain 1 electron to complete the valence shell to become 8. So chlorine need 1 extra electron to form the octet configuration. This is the structure of. So when fluorine ionized by gain of electron, it will give us fluoride ion minus, the charge of minus. And this fluoride ion will now have 2, 8 as the atomic structure, which can be represented in a circular form as this. One electron that is as gain. Now, let's look at here. The number of protons is still what? 9. Electrons equals to 10, or 8, I mean to say. Yes, 10, because he gained 1 electron, has 9. Then neutron is equals to the mass number plus the atomic number. Let's say this is 19. Let's say they will become 10. 10 here. Now, what has happened here? This fluoride ion has attained the noble gas configuration of neon. It has taken the structure of neon, Ne, with atomic number 10, which will now give us 2, 8. So this is what happened in the formation of ions, formation of cations, and formation of anions. In our next video, we'll be using this to discuss ionic bonding, what we call the electrovalent bond. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, as well as drop your comment for response or questions. If you have questions, you drop your question on the comment section. I will attend to them at the right time. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to follow this channel for incisive chemistry education.